name is Paul Pedini. I work for Cashman. We're heavy civil construction. And it's a difficult question for us because there's not a whole lot of sustainable efforts in our business right now. And the reason is it's kind of a dichotomy that exists. Everything in our business is so heavily regulated because it has to be. We do a lot of transportation work. You can't blaze too many trails when you're dealing with structures that are going to be carrying the public. So they have to take baby steps in for instance, approving materials like Marc's innovative plastics, which I would love to use in one of my projects, but when I go to the owner and I suggest a change of materials, we typically get the same answer. We'd like to, but we can't because we have to stick with these are the rules, these are the specifications, and we have to go by these. And that's, I'm going to blame the government, at least from our perspective. Not that they don't try, it's just that the rules are so ingrained that they typically when they give out a project, they'll encourage value engineering. They'll encourage constructability review. I have a division in my company, which I started, where we take every project that we're going to bid and we model it in 3 dimensions and we animate it and we build the entire thing in the computer. And sometimes we find some startling problems. We found one right on the highway back here that could have cost the state $10 million, but we fixed it before we started the project. So we'll work really hard to come up with these innovations, and then when presented to the owner, they'll back off. Sometimes they'll accept it if it doesn't, quote, if it doesn't change the final product, the permanent work. If it's just a means and methods thing, they'll let it go enthusiastically. But if it changes the structure, if it has any changes whatsoever to the structure, they can't allow that. It's against the rules. So that's really the thing that frustrates me, is that I see the opening. I mean, after all, a typical job that we bid on is hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a wonderful forum, it's a wonderful market, but it's so heavily regulated that they won't allow it. In fact, lately with the design-build projects, you get these packages and they'll encourage you to come up with innovations, and they'll tell you that we're grading you on your ideas and on your quality control and on all these wonderful factors. And then yesterday we had a bid opening in Florida, and we worked really hard on working on, it was a dredging job. And even though it cost us more money, our deal was to put it in barges and take it all the way around offshore. No, we never touched shore, and we took it way upriver, and we processed it and got right on the highway and took it to the repository. And we went out of our way not to go through public neighborhoods and create dust and potential contaminants. And we thought, well, this is pretty good. They're going to give that kind of innovation, that kind of thought, equal weight. Well, as soon as the bids were received, they opened them up. Oh, this is a low guy, he wins. And that was it. And that's really what is behind most of procurement in the government today, is lowball wins. And until and unless there's some more credit or value placed on new materials and energy-saving ideas, they're the ones that have the power. They can do it anytime they want. They just have to change the rules. And heretofore, they haven't done that.
Good point. Marc?
If you claim sustainability and it means that you have an economic solution and you're a startup company, you have a barrier that you have to get through immediately, because now you have to prove it. So if it's been proven in the laboratory, you now have to prove that you know how to commercialize it. That's a material challenge. And when you get to a situation where you want to prove longevity, you can't prove longevity convincingly to a lot of different people. You can prove it scientifically to other scientists, but now you have the challenge, as we've talked and heard about earlier, change. Finding early adopters for your product is a significant barrier for all of us when we have something that we're trying to accomplish. So you need momentum, you need to have that passion, and you need to have the benefit of some really excellent research.
Okay, Luis.
Well, normally it's good to be last, but this is now raising the bar. I think to add to the panel, I'd like to just add the perspective of entrepreneurship, which is I think of innovation depending where you are in the scale. And when you are in an advanced business, moving forward, it's very difficult. But innovation from the beginning, it starts from a small idea and from a spirit of doing something novel, something different. And at that time, everything plays against you, from resources to energy to. So you have to have the drive, the spirit, the clear focus of what you want to attain, and have the spirit of not take no for an answer, not take failure as a possibility, and just move forward at all costs. And from an entrepreneurship standpoint, that's what drives innovation, and at the same time is what brings the great opportunity of bringing something new to the use of everybody else.
All right, Luis.
So you've heard probably 7 different takes, as you might suspect, from 7 different panelists on kind of barriers to innovation leadership and innovation driving systems.